Hello universe, today I thought I would share a day in my life with you. It happens to be a beautiful Monday morning that I started off by watching a couple of YouTube videos. I'm actually not too worried about that because I'm not into having a rigid, productive daily routine. I'm more of an intuitively productive person, and that's going to be one of the main topics of this video. To get the motivation flowing, I always start by addressing the mess, but I make sure that it is fun and educational experience by putting on an audiobook, in this case a book about breathing. I'm really invested into building the habit of taking my vitamins daily, and I try to keep myself accountable by telling my partner to remind me whenever I forget, and that way we succeed together. I definitely had a lot of to-dos to take care of that day, but my intuition was telling me that if I organize my space and clean up, I will feel a lot better. I normally work every single day of the week, but this particular week I had off from my day job, which meant I could invest all of my energy and inspiration into making this channel better. I always say you have to fill your own cup first, and since I spent the weekend helping out at a farm and doing all kinds of work, I felt that it was best to start this day off with a reset. This is your reminder to drink water today. I've almost turned this into a game at this point, and I aim for a new high score on the Water Time app as often as I can. I haven't really mastered drinking intuitively at this point, so I still have reminders on my watch and on my phone, and I try to keep my water bottle around me as much as I can. I know it's kind of weird that I've been wearing my robe pretty much this whole time, so I did get an outfit change and a refill of my water bottle. You already saw me tidying up in the kitchen. I did some organization and some refills, and for the next step I just wanted to wipe things down nice and clean. At this point I felt like it was about time for some breakfast, but I didn't want to get anything too heavy. I decided on a big smoothie with a lot of mango to cover up the hidden notes of healthy celery, carrots, and half a beetroot. For smoothies, I might add healthy toppings like nuts or seeds and maybe the naughty odd bit of chocolate. Of course, this is another great way to get some more hydration going on, and it tastes perfect. With my hunger sated, I felt like there were still a few things to clean up and prepare around the kitchen. For one, I thought I'd set out to sprout a bunch of broccoli seeds, which are incredibly healthy, and having them around just inspires me to make healthier cooking choices that might fit them well. For that, I just needed to soak them for a couple of hours first. It's really important to spend quality time with pets, so I let my cat know how much I love her, and I finished up wiping the last few surfaces in the kitchen to finally achieve that clean and inspiring look. After the weekend away from home, it was important to charge up all of my devices so that they could be ready for work later. And with that out of the way, I went on to clean and tidy in the rest of the rooms so that I could have a refreshing space to create in for the rest of the week. I definitely don't do this every day. In fact, on most days it's just upkeep. My intuition definitely tells me to switch tasks regularly, so I took some time to connect with you guys on Instagram. You are welcome to join us there if you want to chat or get to know me a little better. At this point, I wanted to get some lunch going because these things can take 40 minutes to an hour sitting in the oven. I usually take some kind of vegetable, cut it up, add a carbohydrate like rice or pasta or beans, and let that bake in some water and sauce. I'm not saying this is my go-to lunch for every day, but definitely for busy days where you just want to put it in the oven and forget about it, this is perfect. I decided to make a potato gratin. No idea how to say that, but I also have no idea how to make that, so nothing could go wrong. We're making the clean version with water, herbs, and veggie broth. And I also made some lemon water. Drink up! Now, it is a well-known fact that minimalists go absolutely overboard with buying plants, and I know I fell victim to that too. So I found myself with a lot of hungry roots to water each week, which is definitely not a problem in itself. I just don't want anyone to wither because of me. I've learned my lesson now, and I will be much more careful with what I commit to in the future. At this point, I've been tidying for about 2 or 3 hours, and everything is in its place. I can move on to the next thing that's on my mind and get it off. Mail. With mail, you never know how important it might turn out to be. So whenever a small pile forms for me, I gather it and divide it into the following 3 stacks: to throw away, to keep, and to photograph or write down something important later. I'll have to tell you about it in a moment because the food is ready. I use my watch for these kinds of timers all the time, for studying, for working, for cooking, for meditation, for anything that I shouldn't forget, and I can highly recommend it. For work, it gives you a sense of urgency because time is running out, and for things like cooking, it just frees your mind up to do whatever other things you need to do while you wait. I garnish my gratin with oregano, garlic, and basil, a pinch of vegan cheese, and I am off to lunch where we are watching Nate O'Brien break down beginner investing with incredible mastery. Dessert is a bit of iced coffee made with frozen homemade almond milk. Pro tip here to let some water run over it so you can pop that ice cube out easily, and then it's back to work. I mentioned that we're building 3 different stacks of mail. I've already sorted some to throw away, others I have put aside to file, and others still I have entered in my notes app or took photos of already. One of my recurring to-dos is to clean up my desktop weekly. I do a lot of computer work and it's important that everything is stored away properly, so I create folders and recycle or back up each file accordingly. All clean. At this point it is almost 5 o'clock and I need to get one more thing off my mind: messages. I reply to each and every message I receive, but they tend to pile up and sometimes take days. To combat that, I have decided to send much more voice messages as soon as I have a minute or two, and it allows me to say much more in much less time. I replied to some friends and to you guys on Instagram, which was relieving, and with a clear conscience, I finally felt like I could do some weekly planning. With a whole week off, I decided to theme my days for different kinds of activities and gave each one a different color on Google Calendar. That's when my alarm went off for our daily meditation session. Every day at 6 o'clock CET, I host a group meditation on the Insight Timer app. I handpick a meditation every single day and go through dozens of them to find the best one for us to enjoy and to learn from. Each person can do the meditation on their own time or live with me. If you are interested, have a look in the description. I decided to use my 4 leftover minutes to check out one of you guys' Etsy shop. I think it is so amazing that you are creating such beautiful things, and I definitely wanted to order something. I set my sights on some meditation candles, and with 30 seconds to go, I headed for the couch. I do my best to stay still every time, whether I am sitting or lying down, and I focus on my breathing. This happened to be day 10 of group meditation, and feeling proud, I left a few words of encouragement in the live chat. With a clear mind, I went back to work, drank some water, and created my legal notice for my website. I finished up a lot faster than I thought, and I decided to make some dinner for me and my partner to socialize over. Again, I went with a time-saving combination of water, broth, and vegetables. Just added all of those to a pan with some miso, adding extra water to my water tank. I really felt like drinking some tea as well, so I whipped out my absolute favorite oolong tea with roasted sesame that has a super creamy and sweet taste, but I still love to add milk too. To sort that out, I made some of my very own almond milk. It just takes almonds, water, a mixer, a strainer, a bit of time, and then you can fill up a whole bottle for much cheaper than in the store. At this point, dinner was ready, so we sat down to eat and then went out to enjoy an evening walk. I try to pay extra attention to the small pleasures like the smell of the bushes and the flowers and all of the beautiful shapes and colors that they come in. We finish up the walk at the supermarket because we missed the farmer's market that week, and carefully we try to pick out the produce that doesn't come with unnecessarily plastic packaging. I always make sure to pick up at least one coconut yogurt, unfortunately with a lot of packaging. Confidently, we head home and notice the cutest kitty that we are already friends with and stop to have a few pets before she runs away for no reason, and then we carry the groceries home, sort them out in the fridge, and come out with the best ice cream that I randomly found. It doesn't even have a lot of calories and not much added sugar, so we have a few spoonfuls of that measured to not go overboard with a bit of chocolate, and we take that over to the couch to enjoy after a long day with some YouTube videos. We are watching one of our favorite YouTubers, Isabel Page. After her amazing video, it's time for the final to-dos: yoga and skincare, some refreshment for my body. After such a day, I know that I will have a strong head start for the whole week, and even though we took care of a lot of things, it was all things that felt right and I feel recharged. For an extra step, I hydrate my legs with some of my homemade body cream and I put some aloe vera on my dry feet. These simple luxuries leave me grateful and energized for an hour of mindful yoga with the amazing Jessica Richberg. I highly recommend her videos if you have a little bit of experience because she is incredibly talented. I pick up my yoga block and my knee pads, really useful, and I get to work on my flow. If we sum up all of the stats, we've got at least 7 to-dos out of the way and about 3 liters of water, which is a really good score. And that leaves us done. I hope you enjoyed watching and I will see you next week. Have a lovely day.